How cute. And welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Mental Health Mondays. So today we are going to be talking about school and mental health, because I know a lot of you are going through exams. It's exam season at the moment, and I thought, what better way to do a Mental Health Mondays, that nearly rhymed, but I messed it up, then to do it about this, because it's prime time. And on that subject, I actually did a video with Childline, so I'll link it down below and I'll put it in like one of the little tabs up above, so you can go and watch it before this video, watch it after this video. I don't mind, but either way I'm going to be replying to all the comments on that video, so go do it, go hit me up, it's really exciting. I'd really appreciate it if you went and watched it. Also, I just want to thank Soulfeel, I'm not sure how to say it, for sending me this necklace, and it says Marie on it, and I've got so many compliments about having it, which is really, really sweet. Well, actually, I got loads of compliments because everyone was like, what does that say on your neck? Because I did a Karen from Mean Girls and I put it on in the mirror, and I put it on the wrong way. Of course I did. But yeah, thank you so much to Soulful for sending me this. I actually got a discount code, which was so nice of them. So if you want to go and like buy this, because I think it'd be a really nice present, like if it's a birthday present or something, I think this would be really cool, then you can go and use my discount code for money off, which is sick. So I asked on my Instagram for some questions, and I got a lot. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, because that's where I speak about most of like my mental health things, or follow me on Twitter if you want to see me rant about how shit my mental health is. No, I'm doing alright, but you know, sometimes it tests me. This brain is a testing situation. Right, moving on. So without further ado, let's just get into the questions. So the first question I got was, what was my experience of school, like the good and the bad of it, and I thought this would be a good one to start off with. My experience of school was that up until the age of 15, 16, everything was great. I loved school, I really enjoyed it, I thrived really well, very well in all my classes, top set for everything, really enjoyed school. And then when it got to sixth form, that's when I started to become poorly, and I really started to hate school, and my school was not very accommodating. They did not really know what to do with me, I think, and yeah, that's when things went to shit really, and I left school. So up until the age of 16, everything was fun and dandy. It was beautiful. It was a great experience. I actually really enjoyed school, and then when I turned 16, things just went absolute dog shit. So that's my little story. You couldn't pay me enough money to go back. I would never, ever, ever, ever go back to that school, because bad mens, just bad mens. So a lot of people asked me about getting motivated and how to get motivated, and they also asked me how to like improve your concentration, because obviously if you're struggling with your mental health, one of the massive side effects of like depression and other mental illnesses is that your concentration just goes to shit. Like you literally can't concentrate, and I totally get what it's like to be in that situation. It's horrible. Like you read a page of a book and you just do not digest any of the information. You just, it just doesn't work. So the way I would say to get motivated is, first of all, you should probably watch some study tube, because they're actually so motivating. Like I'm not at school, but they make me want to like go and learn. Like Unjaded Jade, she's very cool, does great videos for motivation. So I'd say that is a really good place to start, is like to motivate yourself. But also I would say write down like 3 or 4 goals that you want to achieve in school, and they need to be like realistic and like feasible goals that you will be able to achieve. And that way you can just, if you write down your goals every day, you're reminding yourself of like what you want to be and like where you want to get to, and that's a really good way to get motivated. In terms of concentration, it's a difficult one. There's nothing that can just snap your fingers and get it to work, so I would say the first step to helping with your concentration is to break everything down into bite-sized chunks. I was thinking of, you know when someone says like if you wanted to eat an elephant you would have to like do it in small chunks, and then I just said trunks because I was thinking of elephants. Sorry, my mind's a bit all over the place today. Breaking things down into bite-sized chunks is so good because once you do one, you feel more motivated to do another and then a third. It just means that you're not going to overwhelm yourself and like get yourself into such a state where you feel like you can't do anything. If you can do a little bit at a time, then that works. I would also say fuel yourself, get some breakfast down you, get some actual nutritious food down you. Don't be drinking like Red Bull and like all of them caffeine shit. Just get yourself fueled and like ready for the day, and going along with that you need to be able to sleep properly. So sleeping and eating and your hygiene is so important to maintain whilst in exam season. I know it's difficult but it will help you, and I think with concentration making sure that the space around you is neat and tidy. Tidy space, tidy mind, something like that. That's a great one. Eliminate all of your distractions, so get rid of your phone. Where'd it go? Oh, that was stupid. Get rid of it just so that you're not going to be distracted. Take regular breaks between what you're doing, so do like 25 minutes, have a break, then do another 25 minutes, have a break. Getting into that rhythm is really helpful. I would also say, what else helped me with concentration? Oh, another thing that helped me with concentration is the 5 more approach. I don't know where I came across it, but it's like if you're doing something and you want to quit, and like in terms of like building your stamina and building your self-discipline, if you just think 5 more, so it's either like 5 more minutes or 5 more pages of reading or 5 more math sums that I'm gonna do, that really helps. So that's a really good tip too. Advice to someone who inevitably feels like they're gonna fail. That's really hard. All I can say is that you have to try your best in these situations, and you've got to remember that I really do believe everything happens for a reason, and if you do fail, it's not the end of the world. It's because it's going to lead you into another place where you're going to be better off. Like going back to Unjaded Jade, I've been watching her videos a lot recently just to get some like motivation in myself. And she got declined from Oxford, and now she's going off and doing this university where she's going to like 7 different countries, and I just think it's so important to remember that everything does happen for a reason. Also, school is not the be all and end all. I cannot stress that enough. Like, you have to keep yourself well, and if keeping yourself well means that you failed an exam, so be it, because at the end of the day, if your brain is not working well, you're not going to be able to go on to further education because you're going to be too ill to do so. You won't be able to look after yourself and live a happy life if your mind isn't happy. So remind yourself that as long as you are keeping yourself well, that's the most important thing to do. And inevitably, if you do fail, you fail. Like, it's not the end of the world. I wish the school system would get rid of this mentality that everything, that you have to pass every exam to be successful, or you have to go to uni to be successful. It's a load of bullshit. You can get through life in other ways. And when I came out of school in 2015, so I came out of school and then 2 weeks later I was in a psychiatric unit. And when I was in that psychiatric unit, I didn't understand. I was still in this mindset from school that everything had to be regimented, everything had to have an end goal, and I didn't realise that sometimes you can take a step back and just be, and just not have to think about the end goal. And I remember the first question I asked when I was there was like, what's the routine? And they were like, there is no routine. And I was like, what? How is there no routine? Like, I just didn't understand it. It was because I was so tunnel visioned, and I was just thinking everything had to have an end point. And I think school really gets you into that mindset of like, everything has to lead you on to something else and something bigger, and at the end of the day, life is not like that. Life is about taking each day as it comes. You obviously think about goals, you want to have goals, but it's so different from being in school. School does not prepare you for the real world, and I wish they really did, because it's so hard to break that kind of tunnel vision of everything has to be perfect and have to pass every exam. It's just not the case. So if you feel like you're going to fail, firstly, just try your hardest, because that's all anyone can ask of you. And secondly, if you do fail, it's not the end of the world. I wish people would just keep reminding yourself that it's not the end of the world. As long as you know you tried your hardest, that's all that matters. Someone said, what do you think is the worst problem with the schooling system? And I literally have so many things that I disagree with the schooling system. Firstly, like I said, about it being tunnel visioned and making out that everyone needs to go to uni and to be successful, which is a load of bullshit. I think their mental health and teacher support is appalling. It was in my school anyway. I felt like the teachers knew that I was really poorly and that I was self-harming, yet they didn't have the resources or the support in order to help me. They didn't know what to do, so it just was kept a secret because they didn't know how to change what was going on. And I think if they were given more support, if they were given more training in how to deal with mental health, that would be so beneficial to the students and everyone in the school. There's loads more I could talk about, like lack of individuality and just how it doesn't prepare you for adult life, but we're just gonna leave it there because otherwise I'll go on a rant. How to deal with exam stress healthily. I think this goes back to, I think when you're trying to deal with something very stressful, I think going back to basics is the most important things. So don't try and put frills on everything. At the end of the day, all you need to do is make sure that you're eating, sleeping and keeping yourself well in that kind of sense, because that's the best way to be able to take on the day, is if you've ate, if you've slept well, if you showered and got all your hygiene ready, then you're prepared for the day. Stress is an inevitable thing that everyone is going to feel at some point, and it's very difficult. I feel like talking to people is so important when you are stressed. Sometimes you just need to offload and just get it all off your chest. Telling a teacher or telling a parent is such a good way of dealing with stress, because a problem shared is a problem halved, and I definitely believe that so much. I believe in communication is a way to really move forward in stressful times. It's because you get a rationale from someone else, like they are able to ground you and think and give you an outsider's input, which I think is so beneficial. So I would say go back to basics, talk to people, but also you've got to have time to relax and enjoy yourself. So socializing, make sure that you're not isolating yourself, make sure that you are actually, you know, getting involved with things that are going on with your friends, and don't use exams as an excuse to isolate yourself and just, you know, withdraw. It's really important to have social time, it's really important to have relaxing time. I think creating a little timetable of when you do work compared to when you relax is such a good way of combating stress. I used to do my work in my bed, and that is the biggest thing I wish I never did, because my mind associated my bed with working as opposed to sleeping. So when I went to go and sleep and relax, I couldn't, because my mind was like, you do your work in this space. I don't know if that makes sense, but make sure that you have a certain space to do your work, so that when you leave that space, you know it's going to be time for yourself and not focused around exams. I think all of them things are so important. A lot of people asked about how to deal with panic attacks and anxiety in school. I think with panic attacks and anxiety, it's really important to tell the teacher, and a lot of people asked also how do I tell a teacher? And in all honesty, you just have to tell them. You just have to go up to them and say, Miss, can I have a word? And you've got to remember that teachers are human too. They have been through life, they've probably experienced a lot of things that we've experienced, and they're not monsters. They want to be there to help you, or else they wouldn't be doing that job. So speaking to them, or speaking to certain teachers that can, you know, like pass on the word that you are allowed to leave, because I think with panic attacks and anxiety, leaving the situation is very important. So like getting out of the classroom or getting out of the exam room is very important, because you need time to like be able to breathe and not feel so claustrophobic. So telling a teacher is so important, because that way you will be able to leave. It won't be so hard because they know what's going on. But like I said, just remember that they're human. Remember that they've been through like all the shit that we've been through. They probably struggle with mental health themselves. Like, they're not this kind of like perfect person who's never suffered in their lives. They understand people suffering. And I'd also say maybe take something of comfort in your bag at school. That's what I used to do, is I had this little elephant, and for some reason the way it fitted in my hand was like perfect, and like I could just hold it and it just felt safe and right in my hand. It's really weird, but I used to have that in my bag, and if I was ever struggling I just hold it, and for some reason it just gave me comfort. So if you have anything that brings you comfort, then bring that to school and have that in your bag. It can be very discreet, it doesn't have to be like some massive like fuck off pillow, but it can be something small, and that can help you too. And that is where I'm going to leave today. If you want a second part of how to deal with school and mental health, then let me know. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. I make mental health videos every Monday, and on Thursdays I do a random beauty or like lifestyle video. So if you're interested in that and seeing more of me, then subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time that I upload. God, spoke too fast. Please go check out the Childline video. I will reply to every single comment on there. And yeah, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye!